There we go. Okay, so didn't want to connect the first time. I think we're up and running now. There we go. Okay, so didn't want to connect the first time. I think we're up and running now. I gotta turn audio.
There we go.
Okay, so didn't want to connect the first time. I think we're up and running now. I gotta turn audio.
There we go.
Okay, so all right. Audio off. I hate that loop. It just feeds back forever. It's in pain. Okay. Good morning, everybody. If you are Canadian, happy Victoria Day. If you're American, you got a week to wait still for your holiday. Sorry about that. But we are here and trying to decide what I'm going to make today. And I'm honestly, I'm not really sure yet. So yesterday we made sort of a more like interstellar-esque sort of spaceship that had some actual physics to it, like a spinning wheel for, because there's no artificial gravity. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something similar again today. Maybe we'll go with a different kind of vibe on that. I'm thinking, I was looking at the old Babylon 5 Earth cruisers that had a kind of a really neat sort of similar shape, and I think I might try something like that to start with. And I think I'm gonna, again, this time kind of go with more of the drawing method versus the, that's even, versus the like sculpting method, just to get our basic shape in there. So I want to sort of think about what I'm doing from a sketch perspective. And I'm not trying to be accurate. Obviously, I have no line constraints on. I'm just sort of throwing some stuff up here. In fact, I'm going to decrease the res on it even more. So we're just really low. And then that's going to be our axis point where the thing will rotate. And then back along. And then our rear shape. But what if instead of putting the engines, we always put the engines here, right? That's like the typical spaceship du jour kind of concept. What if we did something like that instead? So we have giant nuclear reactors strapped to the sides. Maybe we don't want them around the back. Maybe we want them to be able out here where we can jettison them if we need to. So we have that. And then here for this thing, we're going to, instead of having a ring like we did last time, we're going to go with, there's spokes and they do rotate. So we'll have to indicate that. And then here, there's like a block. So that spins sort of as a centrifuge, but it's not a whole ring. It's just that. So that's our crew compartment, just sort of spinning here in the center. And then we would have our engines out here. I'm not sure what that would be here. And then do we even need this back part? Like, what is it going to be used for? What can we say is happening here? Maybe it's cargo hold? Could be. This might be where we store all of our like land vehicles. If this is an interstellar ship, maybe this is the shuttle bay back here. So we have multiple shuttles in this space there that can launch off and then kind of come into here and do your main ship area. Up here this is functional, and this is all zero gravity here. So this is going to be like the internals and crap there. And we have to decide, do we want our control area to have gravity here or here where it does not? Could go either way on that. I'm not strong on it yet, but we've got to, it's a neat, I mean, I like the top silhouette quite a bit. I feel like that looks cool. From a side, it's pretty flat. Like there's not a lot to it. It's just, so we could give it some ups and downs, although this is going to rotate, so that will kind of help us with that a bit. Do we want to give it more verticality. Well, what we could do, I guess, is doesn't need to be, ooh, this could be cool. Doesn't need to be two things here. Let's get rid of that. For making it more interesting, what if we had two up and two down? So instead of having, we need to make sure that this rotates more. So it's got to be fairly long. And I'm going to make it a little bit more straight. And so now we have that. And then could we go there, there, and then same thing here? That's a much more, I mean, okay, it needs to be further out because that's going to interfere with that. But that's just not quite far enough. So that should be the closest it can get yet is that. And then from there, there. So that could be neat. So instead of two engines, we've got these four massive piss off engines things going on here. And yeah, I like that. Digging that. I think that might be a cool idea to play with. And the ship here, like I said, we've got, this is our cargo area, center down the middle. This is our crew compartment. And this is our like actual ship space. So, do we want this to be longer? There's no reason why we couldn't make that like that and have it be a little more rotated. That would need to go further out, I think. Well, we'll figure all that out when we go to the final. This is just kind of our start build. That could work. Yeah, I'm gonna make it big. I'm gonna get fixed though. This is the stage where I really want to get my read right. Because this is where it all goes to hell if it's not. So we have longer crews circling. And I think, so I can just select that. Drag it a little further. And kind of the same here. Shrink this down as much as I can. Might not be able because of the damned. Yeah, I gotta watch out. It's because it's a circle. I can't make it not a circle. Ooh, but not even the same size. That's kind of neat too. Take that. Okay. Like now it's got a neat side shape to it. And top's looking cool too. Like that's our down space. All right, let's see how we can do with something like this. It's different too. I've not seen, I mean, I've seen these components before. Obviously, we have sort of like the Gunstar and even the B5 fighters with that X shape and X-wing wing, but at this scale with the rotating crew pod, I think that's kind of cool. Decrease it down again. It'll let me. Yeah, there we go. Because that's just going to be like our a rough model. And we'll save. And so now the choice is, do we want to use this model and play with it to make the ship, or do we want to kind of look at it and rebuild it and make it better? I think we might try that. Although I do want to make sure I keep this, but it's simple enough that I think we'll try doing it on a new layer because I want to separate some parts. So we'll start off with that. And let's bring this back a little closer. And there we go. Okay. So clay. So the first thing we're going to want is this center tube thing going down the whole length of the ship. I think I'm just going to use the pill, continuous on, and whoa, how'd I get turned around that way? Okay, now we want to be turned this way because we want our ship to go. And then I'm going to go back to layer 1 and rotate it around. And I actually think I'm going to adjust what I said and make it as long too, so I can kind of check the scales on it because I want to keep my proportions about the same. So if we look now, okay, my tube is about the same length. Cool. That's our center line, and adjust it and make it a bit bigger. Cool to have your ref right there. Okay, so there's our center line. This means we're going to put our engine thing right about there. That's where the engine, well, not quite, maybe even more here. So our engine X is going to go. This is about where our crew container thing is going to go, and this is about where the back is going to start, and the front is going to be full from there. So, okay. Let's stay on this layer for right now. We'll go with a cube. Make it bigger. And I'm lined up perfectly, theoretically. There's our back part. And there's our front part. I'm trying to be really careful just to keep the gesture right at this point. I don't want this thing to be detailed yet, but I do want to get that gesture correct. Like this needs some cutting here, but we'll, and so there's our back part. Now we want to ring. Did I? No, yeah, that's right, because the engines are going to come up here, but this is our ring part here. Gonna delete that. I think for this, I want to go to a new layer. I'm gonna work on the crew part first, because then I can make sure the engines go around it properly. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna see what my polys are at now. I'm already at 3 million. Ugh, okay, cancel. Maybe I will. So it does not need to be high res, so let's decrease the res. Okay. And we get that for right now. Okay. These ships get big, you know. This is the problem with doing something like this, is it just gets large. And nothing wrong with that, but we want to try and control our level of detail as much as we can. Let's use the torus shape. I'm just gonna throw a ring. No, I think a better ring. I don't want it down the center this time. I want to put it off to the side. There we go. Good enough. It's not accurate, but good enough. I liked it, so I put a ring on it. Yeah. And tube out. And our tube out needs to at least pass that space. Like we want to go, so line it up, shrink it down a little. It's pretty much down the center. Cool. We want to try and go through the center axis of that. We're not too worried. There's our tube out for the crew compartment. And that's going to be far enough as we rotate up that that'll be fine. Go back here. And again, yep, see, that's looking good. Even that'd be fine, but that the angle's not right. Although I don't, yeah, there's probably some physics reason why it needs to be lined up. So close enough. Well, undo. Let me just redo it. Do it right. Okay. Still angling out a little bit, but close enough for sketch work, which is what this is. Okay, so that's going to be the base form of the crew compartment. Now, another new layer. Just going to check. Yep, still looking like we're doing fine. Okay. And actually, I'm going to decrease the res on that too. And save. Now, let's shrink down a little bit. Now, we're going to build the struts out for the engines. Gotta love symmetry, right? So those are now going to go far enough out that our engines will rotate, or our crew compartment will rotate completely independent of that. And that's fine. So now, I'm going to go with another new layer, because this time, I think I'm going to duplicate it instead of doing it. So there's one. Come to here, try to line it up. Yeah, going in, right? Yeah, I'm not doing it right. Although there's no reason, I guess, why I couldn't, but let's try to. That seems better. That looks good. Now, let's take that layer, duplicate it, and move it. See, it's not accurate. That's gonna be good enough. And that way we'll maintain, theoretically should maintain our symmetry. So we should still have a symmetrical ship. And that's the basic form that we're looking at there, right? Yep. So now I think we've got this laid out. I'm going to delete that initial sketch to free up some polys. I've got my read is about the same. Not exact, but close enough that I'm going to go and free up that poly space. And now we have our ship. And now we can start carving and making it look kind of cool, because that's the block in. And honestly, we could export this if we were like more into painting in Photoshop than we are modeling. We could just export this, and this would give us everything we would need to take it into Photoshop and, you know, fix it. This is our crew area. This is our body area. So let's see if I've got it. It's still high enough res that I can cut into it and have it look right. At least to start with. Yeah, seems like it. Just to kind of give it some of that angled shape business that I do kind of like. Just makes it feel more spaceshipy to me. That's clearly not a verb, but or an adjective or whatever. Um, but something like that. And we're going to fill back in a little bit, I think, but I just want to give it more than just a straight block shape to it. So we're going to just kind of, oh, wrong area. And here it's the same thing. Carve in, just to make it feel like a ship. And yep. And let's go now to crew area. And kind of the crew area I want to keep more blocky. I don't know why, but I do. There's just a feeling that that would be kind of more in line with what I'm looking for. But we will do that. And maybe. So interestingly enough, this ship does have a top and a bottom right now. It's not quadrilaterally symmetrical. It's just bilaterally symmetrical. So there's going to be, because these are going to rotate, so they're going to be upside down and whatever all the time. But we as human beings do tend to like things that have a top and a bottom. We're so used to gravity and that it makes us feel better. So I think I'm going to leave that and make sure that this continues to have that. Just because I think it's going to make for a more understandable design, if not a more accurate one. That's too carved in. Like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to fill that space anyway. So we're going to have a top and a bottom. But already you can see it's starting to feel like more of a spaceship. So let's go to the next layer down. This is the struts out for this. We're going to leave that alone for right now. This is the top, and this is the bottom. Let's start with the top ones. Do not move them. Let's carve into them a bit. Shrink this down. Line that up as best I can. Which is not perfect, but I'll take it. Carving in. And thank God for symmetries, because we're getting the same on both. I wish I could instance, but I can't instance yet. If I could instance, then I could make all 4 of them exactly alike, or as many of them as I wanted. And then just as I did something to one, it would have applied to all of them. Which is a really cool thing that I like to do in 3D code, but I can't do that yet here. So we'll just kind of make do. I'm gonna redo this one. I think the other ones have kind of gotten to the point where they're balanced, and this one is not. Ugh, no. No. But it does feel longer, which is kind of weird. Let's look at it in the front. Yeah, these are not even engines, clearly. Let's just go full on with that, though. That's how we're going to be. Try to line it up. There. And really, I probably should just copy these ones and bring them down there again and then delete the other one. And I might do that. They won't be symmetrically flipped, but they would kind of maybe fit a little better. They'd feel more together. So maybe we'll do that. In fact, yeah, let's just, because there's nothing to this layer yet. Let's just delete that layer. So we know we're going to need to replace those as we go forward. And our scale is huge, so we don't want to build too much into this. But let's just kind of smooth this down just a bit. It's the kind of thing that I'm going to add with a bump map later anyway. Let's go and new layer. It will be a bit of a pain because we're going to need to then merge them later if we dupe it. But let's try it. And I'm going to go with that shape to prove I use a different shape sometimes. It's not always the same one for this sort of thing. And then can we go that, move, no, undo. I don't think I had active layer only turned on. I did not. So let's undo it. And active layer only. Now let's move. To say there. And now let's grab the rest and move it to there. Okay, just giving it some lineage. Now we can go back to layer 5 and the clay tool, and we should just be able to delete that section here. Yeah. And have it read. It's not exactly straight, but all right. And back up this other layer. And I'm not going to do too much along here because, as I said, I don't want it to blow my polys too much. But let's actually try to move it a little bit. No. Probably it's going to be a bit bent like that. So we'll just hide it with another new layer. And clay, grab a different tool. Let's do that one. Yeah, okay. Shrink it down. Line it up. And move it. Don't know what it is. Doesn't really matter. It's just a shape. Let's do the same thing again with that exact same shape, like here. So we'll have to be a little careful when we move it this time, because we don't want to grab and move the other one. But first two, cool. Cool. Yeah, that gives us a bit more intent. And looks right on that side and that side. And then I think something down the middle, and we'll call it good for this one, because I don't want to go nuts. Let's see, did I build anything in my custom shapes that I think would be cool? I do like this kind of cage thing. I used it in another one before, but I do like it. So let's try using it. See what we get out of it. I can throw it just straight down like that. Let's go to single if we're gonna do that though. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And then make sure what layer I'm on. How many layers do I got? Cool, that's an acceptable layer. You can move it, grab the ends, pull it. Oh, it kind of comes along. There you go. So do you want it to come up? Or just... At least we can kind of see what it's doing on both sides because we got the mirroring turned on. That's cool. Right to right here. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I don't like it. Let's leave it. Let's just do that. And then, so we'll do one more thing then. just a space triangle thing here, just to kind of too high. I don't think it's lined up exactly where it says it is. No, but that's cool. That works. So very simple, actually, kind of engine shape, but I think it'll give us what we need. Maybe we'll do the same thing here. Is that too big? I think it's too far out. So this one's going the other direction. It's under where I think it is. Okay, sure. And then move tool. To line it up first. And then to pull it. To there. Yeah, all right. Cool. Let's save. Now, I could go nuts on these things, but I think we're going to allow this to be what it is, and then we can then take these and we'll use displacement maps. Transform it, drag it straight down, and then we're going to bring it forward. It's connecting there. It's different because it's rotated, right? See if we can rotate it. See if we can do a... Will you let me rotate it 180 degrees perfectly? Probably not, but if I'm... Oh yeah, it will. Did I hit 180 degrees perfectly? I guess I did. And then bring it up. See, we got there's some errorage going on here down at the end and the backside. That's not on the top, looks like. Let's see. It doesn't exactly. We had some. Oh no, we got on the top too. We had some kind of weird. Thing. Let's see. How am I? Or did I? Oh, that's what my problem was. Never mind. I understand. Delete this layer. Yeah, these are all. Yeah, I got to merge. Pray for me, merging. Let's save first. And so those three, and we want to merge. And it only moved the extra stuff and not the engine itself. That was easy. Cool. Duplicate. Now, no. We can shift back over so I can see it straight on. We're going to flip. That's cool. I didn't even know I could do that. And move it. Just that. And bring it forward to right about there. And yeah. So now let's see what we got. We do need to clean up that crap that was left over on both of those layers. Clay, square, realign it so I have better control. And I'm on this layer, aren't I? Okay, and then the same on the one above it. Okay. Yeah, so now we have the engines to our ship. And I know we're going a little slow because we're just kind of going through this all, but I think that that's cool. I like that. It gives us enough details to play. And another quick save. And another poly check. 7 mil. Okay, so we still got a lot of room to play with. It's so crazy to me. Like, oh, we have 7 million polys. We got room to play. That's crazy. I love the world we live in today. For that at least. Other stuff I'm a little more salty about. Okay, so now we're gonna just kind of think about what the greebles on the front part of our ship should look like. Line them up. And line them up. And yeah, I'm just using the same brush just because it's kind of just a series of forms that I want it to feel right on. And then maybe we move them. So yeah. We do the same thing in Photoshop, right? Like you lay a stroke down and then you erase part of it. And then you lay another stroke down and you erase part of it. You don't just stick with what your shape gives you all the time because that's boring and you're going to have a limited number of shapes. So over time, you're going to start feeling like, well, I've used everything and all my designs look exactly alike. But if you take the shape and then you modify it, then it becomes a lot better. And those I'm not going to modify because I just kind of wanted that on top. And it's kind of a very iconic-y shape that iconic-y, kind of like the E everything. We're going to put those on there. But yeah, I'm digging that. I like that a lot. Let's go with something on the front area now. This triangle piece, kind of cool. Let's see what it looks like on this side. Okay, let's see what it looks like on this side. I like it better on that side. So there's that. And at least I won't say maybe everyone doesn't. I tend to anthropomorphize a lot of my stuff. So I like having eyes on it. This shape requires a higher res than I'm at, and I don't really like it enough to stay with that, so we're not going to bother. But yeah, so we've given him. See, I'm already doing it. We've given the ship like an eye shape now. That helps to, for me, give a sense of relatability that I like. And I accidentally grabbed some of that front part, but I'm okay with that. And today you're not getting my girlfriend's peanut gallery comments, but they do exist. Trust me. Oh, trust me. No, she's amazing and wonderful, and it's cool. Cool. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, yeah, I could get. I have the external edge, sound of a pissed off, angry guy, and I'm really a softy inside, and I could wax poetical how awesome she is forever. But sorry. Back to the ship. So I like these sides. We got some cool kind of like gun things going on now. That's neat. Like they're maybe like anti-aircraft. Well, I don't remember what you call it. They're the guns you use against fighters. So you wouldn't necessarily use them against an opposing battleship, but if people start having fighters show up on these things, you're gonna want to have something to take those guys out with. So that's what those are going to be. And I feel like it gives a neat front edge to it. I think that's about the level of detail I want on that. So let's save. And another new layer. Now let's go do the same thing to the back side. So this, remember, is going to be where our storage unit mostly is. It's not necessarily for crew, and it's not an engine. Because the tendency will be for me to put an engine thing there, just because it's in the back and we're so used to doing that. I don't want that on this one. This is about having a spot for other stuff. This is where you put your shuttles. I need to build a shuttle bay, probably on the back side here for loading. So let's do that now. I'm going to use this part. I might simply just use this part. Simple, but effective. And we're not going to see this whole thing on time, and I don't want to waste a lot of polys on a backside of a ship that I'm never going to show unless the director approves it, in which case I've got something I can start with. So, you know, it's just better to pick your battles and know where you're coming from on this. So let's give it some more bullshit things sticking out the side. Everyone loves them. And actually now I'm going to try, although I probably should have done this on layer, but can I grab just that one bullshit part? Yes. Stretch it. I like it better like that. That's working. And let's do the same thing kind of here. We need something there. Might even use the same part. Bring it in a little bit. I'm just going to leave it like that, actually. That's kind of cool. Just to have something there. And then another new part. Making noises. Noises helps you make parts. This looks a little engine-like for me, so we need to be careful. Because again, I don't want engines here. But I do kind of want some form. Let's put that there. Move. Bring that down. Just gives us that shape, but now it no way feels like an engine, which is good because I don't want it to. Now, yeah, go to another shape and just something like that. Yep, that's cool. And then do it again here. Repeat our forms. Get a sense of consistency to it. Looking good, looking good. And so, areas of interest on this ship. I don't really care as much about that part. Like, I want the front to seem super cool. I want the engines to be readable. We probably need to spend some work on the crew part. But this back area is almost going to be an area of rest for us. Like, it needs to have enough detail that we don't question why it has no detail or feel that it looks unformed. But it's not going to be high interest to us. Whoa, no. Shrink down a little bit. There we go. Bring those up. Just some pipes. Some simple looking little pipes, but and then something like that, and something like that, so it feels like it's got some form on the front side. And I think we need a little bit of those same kind of pipe action things here. Let's try to line it up better. There we go, that's better. And maybe with a move tool, I can shrink it so I just get that. Pretty much. And yeah, okay, so there's gonna be our back section. We're gonna call that right for right now. Let's quick save. And now let's go on to the crew compartment. And this is an area that it's small, but we want it to feel complete. So go away. Clay, excuse me. And we'll start with that same shape again. Just because I kind of like it, but let's line it up better. Cool. And I want to give it the same maybe down the sides too. So move, grab it, pull it down the length of the ship. Yeah, alrighty. And then let's do something for the top. Go find a new shape. Our custom shapes instead of our... Oh, and what kind of a weird something can we do that makes it a little bit more interesting? There's always the, like, ribbing. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. But let's try that. See what we get. This is just something flat. But let's see what happens if we... Sometimes we grab something and we move it. It gets more interesting. These lines are really simple, but they establish the direction of the ship. They give us something for our eyes to latch onto, and they look really cool when you go in and out of like deep into perspective. It seems neat, at least to me. So, and really, all this is to me. So, and then like that. I mean, it's very low poly, so I could. It looks blobby there. I could tighten it, but I don't think I'm going to because this is mostly going to be looked at about like that size. So there's no point in making things super crisp. It just wastes polys that we don't need. But let's do that. And then move tool. I'm gonna actually move the other direction this time. Right down. Yeah, see how low poly that is? It's just kind of crap when you get close. But from a distance, it feels like, part of the ship. And then that's what we want. Let's do something in this front here. And this is obviously way, way too big to need a viewport. There's no reason whatsoever for that. But it's also going to kind of feel like it could have one maybe. So let's see what happens if we can lay this shape down. We're so low res. I might have to up res this one. Let's try. Okay, and let's see what we get now. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, we need to go a little higher. It was just a bit too low. That's cool though. Kind of looks like plates and shapes on that. Cool. And then let's see if we do the same. We do it here. And can I grab a move tool that's small enough? I think so. And stretch it down to there. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. We got nothing on the bottom yet, and nothing here, and I kind of want something there. Maybe we need another one of those gun pods there. Do I still have it up? Yeah, turrets. I like this turret. And one there. Get it bigger. You can see it's like the res is kind of breaking down a little bit, but I think it's okay. This doesn't really matter because we're gonna paint it anyway later. We want on the top a bit bigger. That's about where it gets right. So those rotating wheels of death are spinning around while these turrets are firing. The girlfriend is definitely getting sassy now. Put that there. And that shape. And maybe there. So let's start it here. And here. Yeah, I gotta flip it. There we go. It's hard to control the things if you're upside down and wrong-handed on you. So that's going to the... Yeah, close enough. It's not exact, but... and then the move tool. Drag that out to like there. is to give us something on the bottom that reads. That's cool. Yeah, I'm liking it. Digging, 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 digging it. Maybe let's give, what if there's like some kind of a door back here? I don't know what there would be there, but some sort of, we'll go with my panel thing again. Where's my little one? There we go. My everyday useful deck panel. Okay. Yep. I like it. Now I want to do something with this connection point here and this inside just so it feels better. Let's go back to using this shape. I like this shape a lot, and pop it in there. It just makes it kind of feel like it's attaching to something. And yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then we will move, grab it, pull. And now we've got something attached there nicely. Let's do the same thing along here. Go to a new layer though. Clay. And I love how we can just zoom in like this. Like, it really makes this work super well. We need to go higher res. Cool, good enough. Because we're gonna go to move, drag, pull it along. And maybe the same on the other side. Actually, so let's undo it. Clay. And a move, or a thingy. And maybe one more. Just to have, I think, sort of 3. Yeah, or 4, sure. So we've rotated that thing. Now let's see what happens if we take it and stretch it to here. Cool. I think that's really all that needed, was just some little bit of like, extrusions just to make it seem cool. And then we need to do something here, same vibe. Clay tool, make that bigger. Let's see if we can line it up. Line it up there. Get it as symmetrical as we can. Ugh, gross. One more time. Maybe not one more time. There we go. That's what we wanted. Now, I need something here. I'm going to do the same kind of thing. This is cool. This is where we get to be happy with the fact that this is not actually operational, because I don't have to worry there actually being a hole here where this can spin around. I think I'm just going to do this. But not like that. Let's see, where's my shape? One shape is underneath, so take it that way. Cool. And I know I'm not balanced. Those should be centered, obviously, but my circle wasn't. But I think from here, you don't really notice too much. That's not too bad. And then I think I want to do something along this center line here to make us feel better. So let's that move tool. I don't want it to get bigger like that, but I do want it to go down along that line. Instant interest, just add move tool. Same thing there too. Sure. And then let's do a similar kind of thing along the axes of the engine pods, but maybe even the same tool. Let's see. I think because it was made circular, it may or may not look as cool. But it's weird now. Well, let's try to line it up a little bit better. Whoa, go away. But once we take it and move tool it, yank it out here. It's thinking. It's um, Ironically, I think I'm going to undo this one as soon as it finishes anyway, but it is thinking. Hopefully it completes. We saved relatively recently, right? All right. There we go. Yeah, it did complete. So let's, do I like it? I kind of like it. I wish I could, didn't do it on its own layer, did I? No, I did not. Now I think I could cut it and it would make its own layer. But well, let's just try duplicating it and see if we can do it again. Well, what I wanted to try and do was make it the same on these. And that's going to be harder to get exact, but okay, there. Now, before we go nuts again, let's quick save. And grab the move tool again. Yank it along to about there. So we're now underneath the ship. If they're, as we said in space, it's kind of silly to think of it as having a top and a bottom, but we are underneath the ship at the moment from how we've been laying it out. So we take a moment to look at it while it's thinking. And it's got less detail down here, but I think it's still reading okay. Yeah, saving, or executing. Okay, yeah, still going fine. Almost done. This move tool is so unbelievably powerful. There we go. Okay. So yeah, okay, there we got those. Now let's do something on the four ends, and then I think we'll maybe call it pretty soon. Different shape. Let's do that. This is kind of a good, easy end shape for this sort of thing. Boom, boom. Someone's chatting me on Facebook. I hope everything's all right, but I can't really see right now. Okay, yeah, so we got those. Feeling like they kind of hook in. Let's do one on the top. Oh, my outside of my I'm outside my block. Okay, I was like, why is that not working? Cool. Then we won't bother with one on the top because it's not that big a deal. Let's do one here and here, just to make it feel like it's got something, and then up the center, like that, and then there, and there. It's all smoke and mirrors, but it's cool. We're going to leave the bottom just this sort of flat shape, I think. I like that. I like all of this. This is kind of working for me. Let's save it. So let's kind of review what our design brief was. We wanted to make another ship that um, did not have anti-gravity, so it required a crew rotating unit for at least, like, it doesn't require, but muscle degradation and all that kind of stuff. So you have some gravity built by centrifugal force. This one's got guns, so we're more of a military ship than yesterday's. We've got our ship operations up here. We've got our storage of shuttles and potentially military vehicles and equipment here. We've got, like I said, our 2 crew areas and our 4 fusion engines off to the side, or whatever kind of engines they are. Clearly not fusion engines, or you're not going to get very far. Here, out this way. So instead of having them be built onto the main frame, they're external, which means that they can be detached, replaced. So this ship is more upgradable than if it were built into the main frame, and that's how we're thinking about it. From a silhouette perspective, looking at it at the bottom, looks cool. Like that. Looks cool. Yeah, I'm liking it. And I think it's going to be cool once it gets textured and has a little bit of bump mapping and that kind of thing as well. I think maybe I'm going to put one more of these just down there. Not, I don't want the angle like that though. There. And there, sure. And then we'll do the same thing kind of here. And I'm just going to I'm just thickening up this space a little bit. Give it a bit more oomph. Then you see it's all garbage, like it's just one brush stroke, but just to give it a bit more of that feeling of that there's intent and form here. Reverse that. So go this way. Yes. Okay. And save it again. And like I said, I could keep playing with this now for hours and days, like figuring out all these components and side things. But we'll call this one a sketch now. And it is what? 23 million polys. So cool. It's about where we're hitting our upper end. Let's export it. Thanks for hanging out with me and watching. I will take this and bring it into Keyshot and give it a texture and post it up on my Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff later. If you've not subscribed, please do here on Twitch, or if you're watching this on YouTube afterward, I store them all there afterward. That's cool, and you can check them while I'm doing them on Twitch if you want to. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Again, Canadians, enjoy your holiday. Americans, hold off. You get yours in a week. All right, talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.